All right, thanks guys. Tournament time is here, so let's get into it. Ton of games here in the round of 64 here in March Madness that I absolutely love, so let's get into it. Number one, Kansas takes on the Penn Quakers, 2 o'clock Eastern start time this Thursday at the Intrust Bank Arena. Kansas opened as the 15-point favorites and the total at 147.5, and much to my surprise, we've actually seen a little fade of the Jayhawks in the early going here. Kansas is now laying just 13.5. with the total also moving downward to 146 and a hook. And at the moment, the Jayhawks are the $16 favorites on the money line. Look for them to be in a few money line parlays this week. And speaking of Kansas, they really closed out the year strong when it comes to the number. 3-0 ATS in their last 3 in the conference tourney. 6-2 ATS in their last 8. They've also done a solid job covering the number versus winning ball clubs. 11-6 in their games, taking on teams above 650. They're going up against a Penn ball club who's really struggled in their games as the underdog. They're covering just 28% of their games when catching the points. The Penn Quakers are also struggling to cover against winning ball clubs themselves, just 25% covering versus teams over 650 themselves. Now, scoring-wise, 3-1 to the over in both teams' last 4, but like I said earlier, the line on the total was actually driven downward in the early going here, so with those contradictory factors in mind, no play on a total here for me. But what I will do is lean toward Kansas, who really seems to outmatch this Penn team, both in the trends and in real life, the X's and the O's. So all told, I'm going to purchase the hook, move it down, and take the Kansas Jayhawks minus 13, getting the job done against a number. Next game, number 12, South Dakota State takes on number 5, Ohio State. 4 o'clock East at the Taco Bell Arena this Thursday. The Buckeyes open minus 7.5. They're now laying 8 points against the spread. We've also seen some movement on the total in the